about my looks, about my weight. That was always interesting to hear.
God, this is so terrible.
We stole carpets.
We did steal
Shauna turned me into a thief. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, the Noongar Wadandi Mort. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.
3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry. Just don't look at my
Here
face.
we go.
Joe.
Okay.
Scratch the surface and everyone has a story. Welcome, Kaya, to the wisdom of women. Here we are.
God, this is so terrible.
No, it's not. This is good. So this is Joe.
Hi, Shauna.
And I'm Sid. In this podcast series, we're going to be chatting with some women and learning more about their journeys. Hopefully sharing some yarns and educate and inspire us.
Love
Some
it.
stories,
Inspiration. That's what we're about.
And the three of us have talked about this for a long time, particularly over wines. Shauna and I, we sit around and we solve the problems of the world as only women can. Let's be honest.
Oh, I love it. And of course, after having these discussions, we probably never really found the time, I suppose, to actually do it. And so my work situation changed at the end of last year. And we decided, damn it, that's it. We're doing it.
And we've done it.
We're doing it. So just to give you a little bit of a background, we are trying to be as professional as we can, aren't we?
We're trying to be as professional
So this
as
studio that we're sitting in is in my living room, and we enlisted our partners to help build some walls.
on the hottest days of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We built
I was
this
sweating
studio.
so much. God, it was buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
anyway,
stole carpets.
we did steal
Shauna turned me
carpets.
into a thief
Yeah, okay.
that we never used.
Excuse me, but legitimately, they were on the outside at the back of the carpet store. There was no stealing involved.
We're allowed
I
to.
didn't
We're
hear
allowed
about
to
this.
have them.
Yeah, well, there
When
you go.
did this happen?
And then
So-
we stood out there in the heat, in the sun, washing them, and we decided not to use them.
So what we're trying to do is make sure that we made everything as acoustically,
Yeah.
right as we
Fantastic.
possibly could. So I called up a mate who's in the audio business, and he recommended just getting some insulation bats. So we put them in the frame, and then we got some furniture removalist blankets and popped those on. A little bit of nice material, some snazzy lights, and 3D printing. Off we went.
This is how it turned out.
This is how it turned out now, and we have to also say we are just using our phones, so you're going to have to forgive us if sometimes the vision's a little bit blurry. We're doing the best we can, okay, bringing you the wisdom of women
And we're doing it modern on phones
on phones.
because
Yeah,
that's how we roll.
yeah, and that's all we've got.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway, do you know what? It is all about learning the wisdom of women. And let's face it, women pretty much do rule the world. They're always there under the surface. So we're going to be having some great series of conversations here with women of all different ages, of all different cultures and ethnicity as well. So we're hoping to bring a lot of knowledge and experience to the table and stories around a lot of different issues. And we're going to be sharing our stories as well,
our
aren't we?
stories.
Yes. Oh, sad stories.
Some really absurd stories.
Yes.
Let's be honest. There's some adventures
But also some good stories.
and some good stories.
So I'll start by sharing a little bit about myself and where I come from. So I've just retired from 35, almost 35 years in regional TV. I've had some great adventures across WA, met some amazing people, and also worked with several people who have made their amazing start in regional WA and gone on to amazing careers. And I was thinking about this, who have been at GWN with me back in the start. Natalie Barr, of course, is from Sunrise.
Yeah.
So she started here. Michael Usher, he's still at 7.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know. Gina Williams, an amazing singer-songwriter. She's doing some awesome things. Kitty Flanagan.
Oh,
One of
Wow.
Australia's best known comedians.
Yeah.
Great show on the ABC. She was a copywriter
Oh my God.
at GWN. And I loved Katie used to be wandering down the passageway, always with a sarcastic look on her face. I mean, perfect, comedy. Alex Cullen, he's at 9.
Now, I remember him. I remember
you?
him starting out here.
Yeah,
At GW.
yeah.
And I remember watching his little career rise.
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
And that's what's happened.
Yeah.
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 I don't know any of these people.
Oh, no. Okay, that's making us feel old. Liam Bartlett, of course, he's had a huge career in TV and radio.
Did he start in GW?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, well,
wow.
not probably started. He was in radio prior
Oh,
too.
yes.
But again, he
Yes,
graced
yes.
the halls of GWN. So, we had all these amazing people who have gone on to incredible success in media. While me, I just stayed in the country.
No, Shauna, but you have amazing success. Not everyone has to move away. We don't
Well,
have to lose
maybe.
everybody.
I just really enjoyed the nice clean air
Yes.
and no traffic jams getting to work.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
It took me 5 minutes to drive to work.
Yeah.
That was the
Ooh,
appeal.
and then a 50-meter walk.
Yeah, well, that's true, yeah. So that was, for me, the attractiveness of working in regional WA. And look, I had a lot of roles with the network over a number of years. Most of it was based around news journalism and producer. I was also an on-air presenter for weather and for news. A lot of fun with that. Several years spent in marketing and promotions as well. So I was really lucky over all those decades that I had other jobs as well. It wasn't, I wasn't stuck doing the same single thing day in, day out. I just really loved working for a regional network. I think there was something that was it was a privilege to be able to tell the stories of the community around you.
Yeah.
And you got to know the community around you.
Yeah.
And that is just so special to me. That's what I particularly loved.
I apologise.
I know.
I can hear Snowy.
We can hear Snowy. Anyway, so Snowy's joining us as well. So many years in regional TV. I've got some great yarns for you. I've got some great stories about behind the scenes, and some great yarns about early days on the kids show that I used to be.
GWN Saturday Club.
Do you want to hear the professional version of that?
Yeah.
GWN Saturday Club.
I thought that was pretty good, but
Yeah.
Why don't we can just sing it?
And the early days of being, a journo, just learning what it is all about, and all those amazing, 80s, 90s hairstyles and big earrings.
When I was looking back on footage, I loved your hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
which ones? She had so many different hairstyles.
The black curly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, black curl.
Beautiful.
I thought it was just stunning.
Yeah.
Is that the one when
thank
she's
you.
on the back of the wagon?
Oh,
Brown curly hair.
that
Oh,
was in the potato
beautiful,
chip commercial.
beautiful hair.
Yeah, look, I was all over the shop. I was doing lots of things back in those days. And of course, you may notice now I don't have black curly hair anymore. This was the other thing that was a little bit controversial and got a lot of commentary, was when I decided I was going to go grey on air.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
It's like a big shock. I saw something the other day talking about women who are embracing their grey, and I was like, come on, Shauna did that years ago.
Yeah, years ago. I was there, baby, all for it. So, and then I have had a lot of commentary as well about my looks, about my weight. That was always interesting to hear people. And you know what was concerning to me is the majority of the comments would come from women.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of weight on you. So that was hard because I was on air having 3 pregnancies, 3 children. So, of course I was going to get big, and then I would try and get back to a smaller size. But it can be really difficult. So there's all those aspects of it that just becomes, this enduring, kind of pressure. And you're just constantly aware in a media industry where it is very much about looks. And it is, let's face it is about looks. And it's a very narrow frame, I think, of the portrayal of women
And it's,
to
and
a
it's
degree.
mostly women's looks, because men can look however they look.
Yeah,
That
that's exactly
doesn't
right.
matter.
It was only a few weeks back that an ABC journalist copped a lot of online trolling because of how she was dressed.
Yes.
I mean, it's insane. It still continues to go on. Anyway, I am looking forward to sharing a lot of stories from my days with it all, take you behind the the scenes of what's
We're
going on.
here for that. We're
For
here
now,
the
though, I'm
stories.
just really loving the idea of sitting down and chatting to amazing women about their experiences. I think it's nice to have a conversation that lasts longer than 2 minutes.
Yes.
And is not clickbait.
Yep. Well,
that's
no,
where I'm
we're
coming
certainly
from.
not clickbait.
But we do have a male in this conversation.
We do. But
He's officially taken over the mic.
Snowy, what have you got to tell us about your story, hey?
And Jo, you've got an interesting yarn
Yeah,
behind you
I'll be
too.
talking a little bit about, I mean, I've done a lot of interesting and, like I say, absurd things in my life, but it started off, really things started off when I was born on the 1st of April, 1969.
That is like the perfect storm
Yeah.
of a day and a year,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's. I always say I'm immune to being a fool because anyone born on April Fool's Day is instantly immune.
Okay, you keep believing that.
I'm gonna. I was born, and I never knew my father. My mum and dad didn't really get together except for a couple of nights, so I never knew him. I thought that my father was Mick Jagger.
Oh,
So-
you're kidding me.
Yeah,
I love that.
but you never know. Is Mick Jagger my father? You'll have to just listen in to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
It was the 60s. He was in Perth. I also found out when I was 18 that I'd been in foster care. And that was a real shock because I had no idea, no clue. It was bizarre. So I'll talk a little bit about that. And then although being part of a blended family in the 70s when it wasn't really, it happened, but it wasn't really acknowledged that it was very hard work. So
It was a different era.
it was a different era, so I'll talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that, and you know how I ended up traveling away from my family to really reconnect with my family. You know, emotionally, you have to step back to come back sometimes. So yeah,
Yeah, that's so true.
and I
That's
think
right.
that because there are so many people these days who are affected by this, foster families, adoption, step families, that maybe they'll take something from what I've got to say
Yeah.
about how I remained so sane and together.
You've got a really interesting background there.
Very,
You've just got
yeah.
so many elements.
Oh, there's
of
so
it
much
all.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exciting, even Snowy's listening.
I know Snowy's intently listening to me, but he really wants to hear about your story.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've lived a few short years, Sid, but gee,
Yeah.
you've got a
Only
tale.
16 years, but yeah, I got diagnosed with a complicated epilepsy when I was 12. And then that went on for 9 months of just hardcore seizures. And then
And the
after
impact, the
yeah.
impact that must have had on your day-to-day life, your schooling, your social life.
Yeah, it was pretty severe.
Yeah.
Which then, when I was in year 10, turned into some clinical depression and anxiety with, I had major stress levels as well.
Yep.
And then I've gotten a lot better. So I thought, I should just discuss it and, maybe some people can relate to my story.
I think a lot of people can, and I mean, hopefully not a lot of people have had to go through what you've gone through, because what you've gone through is really incredibly difficult and you've handled it really well. But I do think you've got a lot of positive things to say about how to handle it, because
Yeah.
you've done amazing. So
And as much as we continue to have, campaigns to talk more about mental health as an issue, I think there's still an underlying sense of people not wanting to talk specifically about what they're going through. So
Yeah.
for you to open up like that.
and to be so young and do it, Sidney, that's really brave.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I do need to say that I am absolutely in awe of the way that you are now sharing your experience and feelings and advocating not just for you, but also for other people. And for people who aren't aware, I am Sid's mum, and I have watched my daughter go through incredible trauma over the last 5 years. And it's been tough. And I'm so proud now to just watch how you are emerging and coming back into your own strength. So I think that's pretty amazing. So good on you, Sid.
Thank you, Mama.
It makes it pretty special for a mum and daughter to be, sharing some experiences in
Beautiful.
a podcast. I
And
think.
it's really honest as well. Like the way
Yeah.
you guys go about is very honest. And
Yeah, they're conversations that I think that need to be had. And I think it's often the things that we carry sort of silently within ourselves that become the heaviest of burdens to actually carry. And this is where, the wonderful experience of being a woman in being able to share your journeys, and that can help. It makes us realise that we're not all alone in it all. Yeah.
No, we're all together.
Wow, so that's the three of us. They got a little heavy really quick.
Yeah.
But a glimpse of the stories, and we're going to be having more of those in detail a little further down the track. So look, thanks for listening to our Meet the Team episode of The Wisdom of Women. We have used a whole village to bring these wow conversations together. A big thank you, of course, to our partners who kind of got pulled in to this whole lovely journey. Bad luck, fellas.
Thankfully.
And a whole lot of gratitude as well to some other people that have certainly helped us. A big thanks to Sharon and Dean at Lomax, and to Derek at Totally Sound. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And we have links for more show information and to subscribe.
Yes, please do. Now, we love a good quote here, and my favourite today is, "You were born to be real, not to be perfect."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Haven't heard that one.
That's really good.
It is. Joe?
My current favourite is be the woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world that it was crooked. I think that's
I love that
beautiful.
one.
Yeah, I like that.
That is good.
Mine is spoken from the one and only Shauna Willis.
Love this.
Used to say it every time we went off to school. You would yell out, "Rock it, roll it," and then we would say, "Live it, love it," or the other way around.
I love it.
Can work either way.
Live it, love it, rock it, roll it. Yeah. Rock it, roll it, live it, love
There you
it.
go. You did listen to one thing I said in life. Love it.
The best thing to listen to, really.
Yeah.
And always remember,
Every day.
You are remarkable.